Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to study about chance and probability. So, chance and probability. These words often come up in our daily life. We often say there is no chance of it raining today, and also say things like it is quite probable that India will win the World Cup. Let us try and understand these terms a bit more. Consider the statements: the sun coming up from the west, an ant growing to 3-meter height. If you take a cube of larger volume, its side will also be larger. If you take a circle with larger area, then its radius will also be larger. India winning the next X series. So, if we look at the statements given above, you would say that the sun coming up from the west is impossible, an ant growing into 3 meter is also not possible. On the other hand, if the circle is of a larger area, it is certain that it will have a larger radius. You can say the same about the larger volume of the cube and the larger side. On the other hand, India can win the next test series or lose it. Both are possible. Now let us see what is chance. So, chance. If you toss a coin, can you always correctly predict what you will get? No, it is not possible. So, try tossing a coin and predicting the outcome each time. Write your observation in the following table. Okay, you are tossing a coin and you are predicting its outcome each time, and you are noting it down in this table: toss number, prediction, outcome. Do this 10 times. Look at the observed outcomes. Can you see a pattern in them? What do you get after each head? Is it that you get head all the time? Repeat the observation for another 10 tosses and write the observations in the table. You will find that the observations show no clear pattern. In the table below, we give your observations generated in 25 tosses by Sushila and Salma. Okay, these are the observations got for Sushila and Salma in 25 tosses. Here H represents head and T represents tail. So you can see the numbers, outcomes, Okay, in first toss they got head, second toss they got tail, third toss they got tail. You can see. Similarly, in 25 tosses, their outcomes are tabulated. So what does this tell you? Can you find a predictable pattern for head and tail? Clearly, there is no fixed pattern of occurrences of head and tail. When you throw the coin each time, the outcome of every throw can be either head or tail. So, it is a matter of chance that in one particular throw you get either of these. Now, let us see what is probability. We know that when a coin is thrown, it has two possible outcomes, head or tail, and for a die, we have 6 possible outcomes. Die, you all know, we used to play snake and ladders using this die. So, we also know from experience that for a coin, head or tail is equally likely to be obtained. We say that the probability of getting head or tail is equal, and it is 1/2 for each. Because the probability of getting head is 1/2, also probability of getting tail is 1/2, because total there are 2 outcomes. So number of favorable outcomes by total number of outcomes is the probability. So here favorable outcome is either getting head or getting tail, so that is 1, and total number of outcomes is 2, so the probability is 1/2. Now for a die, the possibility of getting either of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 is equal. The chance of getting all these is equal. You know we cannot predict which one will come. So that is for a die there are 6 equally likely possible outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 equally likely possible outcomes. We say each of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has 1 by 6 probability, because each has 1 by 6 probability. Total number of possible outcomes is 6 and each has 1. So 1 by 6 probability. We will learn about this in the later classes. You will learn in detail about probability in the later classes. For the time being, you need to just be aware of things like this. But from what we have done, it may perhaps be obvious that events that have many possibilities can have probability between 0 and 1. Those which have no chance of happening have probability 0, and those that are bound to happen have probability 1. Given any situation, we need to understand the different possible outcomes and study the possible chances for each outcome. It may be possible that the outcomes may not have equal chance of occurring, unlike the cases of the coin and die. For example, if a container has 15 red balls and 9 white balls, and if a ball is pulled out without seeing, the chances of getting a red ball are much more, because red ball is more in number. Can you see why? How many times are the chances of getting a red ball than getting a white ball? Probabilities for both being between 0 and 1. So children, you need not worry about this much. This is just an introduction about probability and chance. You will be studying in detail in your later classes. So you just have to read it from your textbook. If you have your textbook, you can read it from your textbook. And just try exercise 3.4 as a homework. Okay, thank you.